Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is our first episode here at CW Studios, and the program is Listen to This.
Listen
it's
to this.
Yes, Rasheed.
That's right.
It's a great day. It's the inaugural episode where we talk about what it's all about. And without further ado, I have to introduce this gentleman. I've known him for about 15 years now through
15 years, huh?
through
It's been
business.
that long.
He's the one and only, the Rasheed, not Rasheed, the Rasheed. Welcome.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks for having me. And my name is Rasheed, and I'll be co-hosting this podcast with Adam.
That's right, co-host,
And,
like second in charge.
Mate, the second in charge. You always want to be the captain of the ship, huh? Don't
Well,
you?
you always need a captain, and then you always need a 2IC.
You just think that you're the captain.
It's a
but,
bit-
you know, it's all about, you know, who runs the show.
Well, there's been many famous duos in time. Look, Abbott and Costello.
Yeah.
We've got Hamish and Andy. Who else?
But do you think that I'll ever get promoted?
Oh, look.
What's the next stage for me? Because
Oh,
I
the
think
next-
I think this is a dead-end job for me.
Maybe you can be in promotions. We can talk about that.
All right, you know, as long as you keep wind of opportunity open for me, you know, we can do something. We can work it out. Okay. Anyways, let's get into this.
Okay.
All right. What is Adam? Can you talk about what's this podcast all about?
Well, what's this all about, Rasheed?
Yeah.
Well, this has been in the making for about a year. We get together quite a bit. We talk, we converse, and the topics just keep going and going and going. And we have outlandish opinions. Sometimes we agree, but most of the time, we stand for what we believe in, and we don't always have to have the same opinion.
Yeah, that's right.
So why are we doing this? I mean, is it going to work?
I don't know, man. Why are we doing this?
I
It
mean,
was my idea, wasn't it?
look,
It was your idea, but you know, we came together, kind of thing. You know, worked out in the end.
well, it hasn't worked yet because it could either go one of two ways, Rasheed.
Which way is it gonna go, Adam? You gotta tell me which
well,
way it's going.
The phones might ring and we might be promoted, and next thing you know, we might be on a TV show. I don't think
I know.
it'll be Married at First Sight because our
Mate,
wives
I'm
won't
married.
be that happy.
You're happily married. I think we should keep it at that, right?
That's right. So, or it could turn to dust and we could be out on the street and the women could have the houses.
Hey, did your missus approve of this or what?
Oh, look, that's
Because
another.
you know how you said that she was annoyed the other day.
Oh, look, we might have to save that for another episode.
Man, I reckon, Ava, if you're watching this, I tell you what, man. You have my respect, utmost respect, because you know why? Purely because it's not that I do have a lot of respect for women, but you have my respect because you're married to Adam. That's it. I mean, the
Ladies and
day I
gentlemen-
found out that she was married to you, that was it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a pretty annoying man. Like I say a lot of stupid things,
Yeah.
but if there's one other guy that's more annoying than me,
It's
the
me.
Rasheed.
Oh my god.
You are the most, but we're mates.
Yeah, we're
You know,
mates.
if you just
I
towed the
think
line.
This annoying thing is it's what we have in common. You know what I mean? I think that this is where the mateship comes into play.
That's right. You build respect. You tell stories. It manifests over time.
Mate, we certainly do know how to talk a lot of shit, right?
Oh well, this can go anywhere. Anyway, Rasheed,
I'm a bit nervous, man, with this podcast, but you know, like, sorry if I'm slurring my speech, but you know, I feel it. Hopefully, in the future, it's gonna get better and better. I don't know. I just wanted to put it out there.
Well-
Anyways, yeah.
Well, that drives me to the first question because we're going to talk a little bit about ourselves. Primarily, we've got a lot happening on this show, but we need to give the listeners out there, both in audio and visual, a little bit of a. I'm going to ask. Look, you've got a little bit. You come from Afghanistan, that's right,
Right.
and you've had a little bit of a. How can we say this upbringing? It wasn't all roses and
Daisies.
yes. So
Or
you come
sunshine
from
and rainbows.
you come from. So tell me a little bit about where you come from and the trials and tribulations growing up and fleeing Afghanistan and coming to Melbourne.
I've had a very interesting life. I mean, I was born in Afghanistan in a city called. I'm just gonna put it out there if you wanna look it up on Google, but it's a city called Jalsjon. Say it?
Jalsjon.
Jalsjon, that's right. It's a small city in Afghanistan where it's bordering Turkmenistan. You know what Turkmenistan
No.
is? Like the old Russia, the old Soviet Union, one of the countries. On the other side, because we're close to another big city. It's called Mazar-e-Sharif, which is bordering Uzbekistan.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
Uzbekistan. We're like 2 hours away from
Oh,
Uzbekistan.
that's where Borat's from.
Borat is pretty close. He's from Kazakhstan,
Oh,
so it's right next to it. You know, so it's not that far. Yeah, growing up in Afghanistan, I was actually born and raised there. Basically, when I left the country when I was about 17, so till about 12 or 13, things were pretty decent, I suppose. You know, the where I lived, that state was controlled by a warlord. His name was Rasheed Dostum. His name was Rasheed.
So you were
Dostum.
named after this dictator. Is that what you're saying? So is that your
His
parents?
name was Abdul Rasheed Dostum. Can you believe it? You know, his name was. But he kept the city pretty safe, and so after the age of 12 or 13, things kind of went downhill from there.
The Taliban. Is that?
No. That's when I first experienced my first execution.
Oh,
Yeah, so they were hanging 3 people, and we had a football stadium there, a soccer stadium. So the first time, I thought it was fun. So I went to the stadium, and they were hanging 3 people. You know, they had this very basic. You know, have you seen the Game of Thrones? That's where they hang people. There's a frame, a wooden frame with a noose hanging.
yes.
And they lifted them up to put the noose around their necks. One of the guys kind of fainted.
Wow.
And they lifted him up on the chair and put the noose around his neck. Basically, they kicked the chairs, and all 3 of them just dropped.
And you saw that.
Yeah, that was the first time I saw that. But things from there, you know, I saw a lot of other things that, you know, when Taliban took over, we basically saw a lot of, you know, I would go to the stadium and witness or watch these executions. You know, Taliban would, you know, stone people to death. Or listen to this. Listen to bloody this. There was 2 gay guys. Okay, I'm you know, poor guys. You know, like you. Listen, I don't know how they came up with this punishment.
Yeah.
So these 2 gay guys, one would have been in his probably 50s.
Yeah.
The other one was in his 20s.
Yeah.
Guess what happened? Listen to this. So the Taliban built a wall, a brick wall, okay, and laid them down under the wall and dropped the fucking wall on them.
I shouldn't be laughing at that.
Imagine, I mean, this is pretty sad.
So that's
but
when
the
you
thing
knew.
is-
Yep.
The thing is, it's pretty sad. Imagine those poor guys just lying there watching the wall as it dropped on them.
Wow,
That's pretty sad.
so
isn't
that's
it?
when you knew that things were getting a little bit tough, and your parents decided to, you know, they wanted better things for the family.
Yeah, that
So-
was basically my dad was a doctor, and in the city he was pretty influential, and he had, you know, he was pretty, in terms of well connected, people knew him, so we were pretty safe because, you know, and well, when Taliban took over, no one was safe. So basically, they didn't care about, you know, they didn't respect anyone. So things went downhill. Yeah, from there, you know, my dad wanted to just leave the country.
Yeah.
He goes, look, this is not gonna get any better, so we better leave.
So
Yeah.
you left, you came here as a refugee with your family. So I'm trying to picture this, 25 Afghanistans in a house,
25.
all collecting the doll.
25.
But your mum was just collecting all this money.
Yeah.
You know, you weren't sleeping on beds because you don't, Oh, sorry. You
Go
sleep
for
on the
it, man.
ground. It's better for your back.
Yeah, it's better for my
And
back.
your mum was just collecting all the cash.
All the cash, mate. That's it. When we first moved to Australia, it was pretty good actually. We all lived together and getting from, money from Centrelink. That was actually pretty good. I mean, just go to the ATM. Money was coming out of walls.
And you're still working a cash job? Oh, hang on. Sorry.
Mate, I never do that.
I'm not from the tax department.
I'm a law-abiding citizen. You know what I mean? I would never do anything to hurt this country. I love this country.
What do you mean? Everyone hurts the country. Look at the government.
Yeah, it's a lucky country, mate. This country has given me everything. I would never do anything to compromise, our government.
Well, except if you work for the government, you just keep taking. Well, that's another episode. That's in future episodes to come. So okay,
so this podcast is basically it's about what it is that we probably don't have we're not rich, but obviously Adam is rich. I'm not, but we're rich with experience, right?
Well, we have life experience. I'm 45.
We have life experience. When Adam was a child, a little kid, then he grew up. The story ends there.
Look, I must say, I don't have I do have an interesting story growing up, but not to the extravagant life situations you were put in where you were compromised with death and seeing those executions. I grew up in Australia, 3 brothers, mum and dad, in an Australian-Italian family out in Doncaster.
Yeah.
Mum and dad bought land in the 80s, and that was the dream.
No, listen, don't talk yourself down. You're married, for God's sakes.
Oh, look, I've exceeded all expectations.
Marriage is a struggle, man. That's a battle and a half.
Oh, look, it's...
You've been married for what, 15 years now?
Well, 15 years in March, and my wife did remind me the other day that
how many people do you guys know who have been married for 15 years or more?
That's a silver wedding. Is that a silver wedding?
What?
Silver is 15 years.
Oh, okay. If a marriage lasts for 15 years, that's a silver wedding, is it?
Oh, over the dinner table when I was having my steak, she did say that 15 years was coming up and what we were going to do. And I asked her what we were going to do.
Yeah.
It's my anniversary as well. So anyway, look, so let's...
But did you know it was going to be 15 years? Like, did you know, like...
Oh, look.
Oh, she just mentioned it.
Oh, look, now it came up over, we're having a chai latte and we're having a little chat about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, 15 years is a great achievement. And
yeah, it is, man. Nowadays, apparently, marriages last about 10 years.
Oh, do they?
I mean, like, on average.
We should look, that's
Between
for
10 to
another
15
episode.
years. That is, on average, in America, apparently, from the stats.
Well,
anyways,
we might have to
talk about it in later episodes, but yeah.
We might have to do a bit of research before that one. You get a few things
So,
in.
hey, with this podcast, basically, we want this podcast to be about people's stories, like real stories from very dark places. Because I know some people, they've got very dark pasts, but they've been able to pull themselves out of that and
through the tough times.
Yeah.
So
live a normal life.
So primarily, we're going to look at men's health. We're going to look at the dark times, but not only the dark times, because through the dark times, there's a lot of success stories.
Success, I was listening to Joe Rogan's show. He goes, well, it's not him, but tough men. I'm not gonna say I'm tough or you're tough or this and that, but you have to have been through stuff to be able to, that's how you get shaped. These events in your life shape you. For example, I've experienced executions. Like all types of violence, but back in the days, we didn't have any counseling. You live in a country like Australia, you've got counseling over there. You know what you did? You got over it.
Yeah. So that's right.
I remember. Listen to this. Listen to bloody this. I remember this poor guy. He had fucked some woman.
You can say that. That's okay. But not too
he
much.
Had sex with another woman, and guess what? He was being executed for just having sex. Imagine if that happened in Australia, no one would be left.
Yeah, the population numbers would definitely decrease. But
Yeah.
just hold you on that note. So
Yeah.
we're going to look at men's health. We're going to look at success stories. We're going to look at finance, money, cash, crypto,
Yeah.
politics, crime stories, and not only that, because we have a pretty big opinion on a lot of those things through life experience. But if we get the chance, well, we are going to get the chance. We're going to interview some people. Now, at the start, we're going to be scraping the barrels because I don't really know any porn stars or I don't know any famous people. So we might have to scrape the barrels and
No, it doesn't
humble
have to be,
beginnings. Humble beginnings.
No, but it doesn't have to be about these famous people.
That's
famous
right.
people,
Not yet,
you know.
not yet.
But the thing is, it can be about just people
Yes.
who have been through a lot and who have been through traumatic events. You know, they've stood up against
Adversity.
calamities and and catastrophes and trauma, and they've been able to pull themselves out, and they've been able to live a normal life.
And we need to find out, what tools they used to, move forward, so we can share that with people.
Yeah,
And
it's
and
all about mental strength.
Resilience.
Human resilience. That's what this podcast is all about, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, because there's a lot of, especially nowadays when you open the news, all you hear is these death and all sorts of things. The miseries and catastrophes.
Watch the
and,
first 10 minutes of the news every night.
Yeah, you can't
And
sleep.
there's not a good news story till about 10 minutes. And the
Yeah.
good news story, the first one, is normally about an animal.
It's
Yeah, because it's proven. We have to go through the stats here, but it's
Yeah.
proven that the more that they put stories on about animals,
yeah.
the more people makes them feel
What is that supposed
good.
to Oh,
if
makes
that
it feel
means
good.
anything.
Oh, okay.
So
But
so
now-
yeah.
yeah.
So when you're watching the news,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't watch the news. That's why you're listening to us, because you're trying to get an edge.
Yeah.
Listen to this. Eh?
Listen to this.
What a great program.
So there's a bit of a history behind CW studios and listen to this and
Well, see, CW Studios
Yeah.
is actually where we are now. It's actually
Yeah.
fictional. It's make believe. Don't go in Google
yeah.
and don't look up CW Studios because it doesn't exist. We just make that up. Everything that we do is coming from us.
Coming
We're
from
not
us.
plagiarizing anyone. We're probably going to get in trouble. We'll probably get banned. But listen to this. They're
Listen.
our stories.
Hey,
and
you know that we're not professionals. We're not nothing. People might take our advice on some of these things.
Oh, that's
We're not that famous, but I'm just saying that even if you've got 500 viewers, if they take our advice and they fuck themselves up, we're not responsible.
That's right. And
Yeah.
and we're looking for sponsors. We're starting from the ground up. We're looking for sponsors. We're going to be promoting Beyond Blue, mental health
Yeah.
avenues there. So you'll get that all on our
Yeah.
website, all in the links in the description. This is our first episode. We need to get the first 20 out
So
of the way.
Adam, tell me about yourself, man. Like what was your childhood look? What did your childhood look like?
So, 4 boys, pretty typical Australian Italian family.
Yeah.
Dad migrated here early 70s.
You said that in the 90s, how there was a global financial crisis, and you went through, your family went through these crises, and basically you remember how your dad struggled with money and
Dad had a
everything,
couple
and,
of businesses. He had a couple
and
of butcher
went down.
shops.
Yeah.
He had a couple of butcher shops. He was very successful in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And then in the late 80s, the interest rates went up to 17%, and then the people just didn't have money to buy meat anymore, because they had to save their money. So, cut a long story short, for further episodes,
Yeah.
struggle happened, couldn't pay the bills, sold the house, sold the farm. Yeah.
Far out.
And then, but if there is a lesson there, it's probably the best thing that ever happened, because you You know, when you're 14 and you're a kid and you lose everything and you have to move,
Yeah.
you grow up pretty quick. So I don't take anything back.
Because when you're a kid, it doesn't register. But as you grow older, you know, you can understand that your dad went through that pain of, you know, losing everything and stuff like that. But, you know, tell me about yourself, because you wanted to be a musician and you left everything behind.
I am,
Listen
mate.
to this.
I
Listen
am.
to fucking this. This guy leaves everything behind and goes to Spain to find himself that where he's gonna go from there. You know, he wanted to be a musician, a dancer, if I'm correct. Did you want to be a salsa dancer?
Yeah, so I actually had my own dance school in my 20s. Pretty successful. Did competitions all around Australia.
Yeah.
In groups, solo.
So
Plus
you
I
did.
played flamenco guitar and I play a lot of rock and a lot of other things.
Yeah, tell us about you've got a lot to talk about. You know,
Actually,
look
yeah,
at these guitars and.
Oh yeah, when I was 10
yeah.
years old, my because they're coming from Italian, Australian family. When we used to always go to dinner dances when we were kids.
Yeah.
And every week someone was getting married.
Okay.
So my parents were great dancers on the dance floor. We used to watch them, and then when mum and dad, they always said when they had kids, we're going to have 4 kids, 5 kids, and everyone has to learn an instrument.
Yeah.
So my older brother got the drums. My twin brother got the piano, and I got the guitar. My little brother.
So they can
started
all
singing.
play.
They
an
can all
instrument?
play.
Oh.
I probably took it the furthest. I actually never really enjoyed guitar until I was 19 years old.
Okay.
I never really had any role models in music or heroes until I saw Tommy Emmanuel play.
Oh, okay.
And then I just sat in front of a video recorder for 3 years and learned all of his songs because just a spark went off.
Yeah.
So look, I've been on this journey through the arts and trying to pass it on to my kids.
Yeah.
And no regrets.
Tell me, life. What went through your mind? Why did you decide to move to Spain? And when you moved to Spain, do you think that you may or may not have made the right decision? But the thing is that, you know, you went through that period of your time that you wanted to find yourself, you wanted to find your career, or you wanted to find basically what you wanted in life.
Look, I was 20 years old. It was actually 24 years ago yesterday, 11th of Feb.
Yes.
That's the anniversary of when I went to Spain.
Oh, mate.
But
see,
they're the
never forget those
they're the
moments,
building
huh?
blocks for life. I got no
Yeah.
regrets. I just wanted to. I was a kid that I was always inquisitive. I always wanted to know what was on the other side of the fence. I always wanted to push the boundaries. Actually, my young son's a little bit like that too.
Yeah.
So I just filled up a backpack, told my parents I'm going to Spain. My mum and dad looked at me and go, "What? Where do you want to go?" But yeah, I've got no regrets about that.
Yeah.
I study flamenco guitar at Amor de Dios, which is a flamenco dance school right in the heart of Madrid.
Yeah.
And once I got to Madrid, I just...
What did you... what happened?
I never ever forget that day.
Yeah. Tell me, keep going, because
I just met someone in the street that took me to the dance school, and I walked in, there was guitarists and dancers, and I just, within 2 days, I acquired an apartment that I rented out. I was staying with other musicians and dancers and singers in this apartment from all around the world.
Yeah.
And it was just fiesta every day. It was flamenco every day. I grew the hair, I grew the
and
beard.
you realized that you fucked up.
I came back home. No, building blocks. Look, I still play.
Yeah.
I made a decision when I was 26 to 25, 26 to veer off that track a little bit because I didn't want to be 45, no kids, no family.
Yeah.
You know, because when you...
No, you made the right decision. You know, now
that's
you're
for
married.
another episode.
Yeah. And guess what?
We're here now.
You're running a successful business, and you've mixed your passion. Actually, you've mixed two of your passions together, and you've got something to offer to people.
Yes, I actually got a catering business called Around the Pan. So I cook paella. All around Melbourne, pretty busy.
Okay.
Busy every week, and then sometimes I do the dancing, and I play guitar. Depends if that's a
You're
requirement.
gonna play guitar today.
Every day.
Yeah. No, while you're cooking, you play
Oh
the
yeah,
guitar
us,
to people.
yes.
You know, that.
After I cook, depends what they want. If they want me to give them a salsa dance class, I do that. Or if they want a bit of flamenco guitar,
Yeah.
I sit up in the corner and play because it's a niche market, but it
Yeah.
goes with the cooking. It's that whole cultural thing.
Yeah.
But I love it. I found my
Your
passion. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, tell me, Adam, about how we're gonna end this episode. What should the viewers expect in the later episodes? Later
Oh
on?
look, we're just getting the ball rolling.
Yeah.
If you watch this episode again, you'll get a fair rundown of what we've covered.
Yeah.
But look, I'm very excited. It's the sun's shining. Let's go on this journey
That's right.
and listen to this.
Listen to this.
Is the name of our show.
Basically, this this is about my life story and Adam's life. Adam's life story. Is that right? And we're gonna bring guests with, like I previously mentioned. These people have been through a lot, and they'll talk about their life experiences, and they will tell you about their resilience in the face of
Adversity.
trauma, adversity, and these are real people. We're gonna show you all the evidence that some of them actually there are you will find it on the internet. So
This is
we'll talk
exciting.
about that.
All right, let's wrap this up. We're doing people's heads in. Okay,
All
so
right.
you can get us on a video feed here on for podcasters. You can also listen to us just on the audio. Thank you very much, Rasheed, the cream of the Middle East. And
Let's
until
do
next
this, Adam.
time, salud.
Ciao, Khodafis, bye.